Hi Cancer, this is your girl Venus Dark Angel here with another love reading for you guys. Just want to say thank you so much for tuning in, and let's go ahead and get started. Cancer, so the underlying energy that we're working with is the Nine of Swords. Okay, so we're feeling a little stressed, a little sad, a little depressed, unable to sleep. Okay, and it has a lot to do with knowing your truth, Cancer. Has a lot to do with your truth. It has a lot to do with being able to clearly see and have the clarity of thought. There is not a lot of clarity of thought going on when the Nine of Swords kind of happens. So this is what you're stressing about in regards to your love life. You're not feeling too happy. You're restless. Like you can't sleep at night. Just the thoughts that just kind of keep you up at night. But I feel like it's because you're intuitively open. Now, the reason why I say that is because the heart of your reading or the state of being is the High Priestess. So maybe you're receiving a lot of messages, receiving a lot of energy, and you're not able to kind of decipher what energy is what energy is what. I know this is the Pisces season, so a lot of things can kind of feel like I can kind of feel like a mess, to be honest with you. I feel like it just kind of feels like everything's kind of jumbled up, but there's something that's your intuition is trying to tell you right now. Sorry about the glare. There's something about your intuition that's trying to, warn you about something, or maybe tell you something. You're psychically open. That's definitely one thing. So you're feeling a lot of these energies. You kind of feel like, I think it's heightening your fears and heightening your emotional problems. It's heightening a lot of your depression. So situations like this where the High Priestess comes up with the Nine of Swords, you guys could also be getting psychic attacks as well. So be very mindful of that, guys. But in your love life, if you're having to follow your intuition, really go with your gut. But again, you're not really, I don't really know if you're going with your gut. Maybe you feel like you are because but again, when the Nine of Swords comes up, I don't think you are. When that comes up, I feel like you're more acting out of fear than you are acting out of intuition, but you think that you're using your intuition. For those of you that know what your intuition is and different, it is different from your fears, this could be it too. You guys could be, trying to figure out what, trying to navigate through, even though you don't feel like there is any hope. It's like, sadness, you don't have a lot of clarity and thought. So you're maybe having to use your intuition as well to kind of navigate through and kind of get you to a good space right now. So that's that's your situation there. But in your goal, aim, and ambition, you have the Chariot. So you want things to kind of, shape up, things to move, do something, make some progress in a good, in a good sense, right? But you also, this is your card, Cancer. Then the Chariot comes up, that's your card. So I feel like you really want to be in your energy. You really want to feel yourself and be more clear and in the light with your energy, and rather than being kind of closed off and hidden in the dark with it. Maybe you're having to keep some things to yourself, and it's causing you to really feel some stress. Maybe there's something that you're not saying to someone, or something that you're not saying, or someone else is not saying something to someone, and it's causing a lot of stress as well. And you just feel like there's some sort of secrets that you just don't know. There's something that's just not very clear to you. But ultimately, though, where you want to go, where you want to have victory through your efforts. You want things to balance out. You want things to be all right. You want to be in your energy most of all. But the thing here, what's keeping you is this Lovers, is the connection. Some sort of connection with you and this person is what's causing you guys to feel a lot stressed, feel a lot of stress. And honestly, I feel like that's what is causing you to feel these emotions that maybe are just coming out of nowhere. Maybe someone else feels something for you and you're feeling that, but I don't think that's the case. Usually when I read for someone else, when I read for people, I'm getting your energy and your energy only. So this is all you. This is all in your head, and pretty much the Nine of Swords is really indicating that, like, this is all coming from you. This is coming from up top. you have something here that you might want to say to someone, but you haven't said it, or there's some sort of connection here with this person that's keeping you from being in your energy, from keeping things from moving forward. This connection, or maybe, or ultimately, it's a head of heart decision. So there's a head of heart decision as well. That, yeah, the connection possibly is one of the issues, but then you have also a decision that you have to make at this time, one that's in regards to how you feel and what you may want. Okay, so Cancer, and the reason why you have these decisions to make is because of death. This is looking a lot like Aquarius's reading, but not necessarily. And when I mean by looking like Aquarius's reading, I'm really saying that there's majority, like literally all but 2 cards are minor arcanas. Their whole entire reading is major. So you're going through a lot of major change, and you just went through some sort of transformation. Like you've changed, you've let go of something, you've released it, and now you're trying to gain something new. You're going to fill that spot or that void with something that is pure and beautiful. Or that is what was the situation. That's where the foundation is from, to some transformation. So your stress has a lot to do with linking through this change that makes you feel a lot more vulnerable. I feel like, honestly, you feel very vulnerable, because the High Priestess, she leaves herself vulnerable all the time, because she is, again, gaining psychic messages. You guys, again, could be getting psychic attacks, or maybe even feeling very psychically tied to someone because of the Lovers here. But ultimately, I feel like this anxiety that you have here is due to something about, what you know about a connection, that maybe you have feelings for someone, and the other person doesn't know it, or even you have anxiety because you know the decision that you have to make and you haven't made it yet. Now for your advice, you have the Hanged Man. So it's really telling you to just hold on tight, to really just be patient and allow yourself to gain the information or the perspective that you're looking for. Don't rush things. Don't push yourself. Give yourself that time to really assess the information, so that way you can make the clearest decisions possible for yourself, of course. Okay. Yeah, you're looking for some sort of information to help you make the decision about what about your love life. Okay, so it's all about making a decision that will benefit you and your well-being, and what resonates with your heart here. Because after the Lovers is the Tower. I mean, not the Tower, the Chariot. It's the Chariot. Okay, so when you make that decision, then you get to the Chariot. Obviously, you're trying to skip a step here, or you're not trying to skip a step, but there's a step that's missing, and it's decision making. It's that head or heart decision. Some of you guys could be dealing with a Gemini, just saying right now, because I did see the Queen of Swords underneath the the Nine of Swords, and they got the Eight of Swords too, which was crazy. But so you might want to check them out. But yeah, like you're not trying to skip a step, but there is a step missing, and it is about making a head or heart decision. And the head or heart decision is whether you want something, or what what your heart is saying, what your mind is saying, and really just trying to figure out what to let go of and what to release. Whether it be this connection or to embrace the connection, right? To release the connection or embrace it. But ultimately, you have to wait and see. There's something that you're missing. There's some sort of information that you're missing. So before you make a decision, and don't make any rash decisions, you might want to wait for a moment, okay? And I know this situation is very stressful for you. So, I mean, it's hard for me to even ask you to be patient about this, but it'll give yourself some time to really figure out what it is that you want. And despite you feeling very vulnerable in your relationship, or really vulnerable in this connection that you have with your soulmate here, because the Lovers is a soulmate card. I think maybe there's something that you might want to look at here. You might want to take some time out to look at. Now, in your feelings, you have Justice. Okay, so this is talking about having karmic balance, getting things balanced out in your life. You feel balanced in your emotions. which is very interesting because that's considering that you want to be balanced. That's your goal, is to want to utilize the balance that you have and gain momentum from it, and really capitalize on the victory that the Chariot can bring you when you're moving in a space that feels that, you know, with clear intention, and you know what you know what's going on. So with the Lovers, I mean, I feel like you guys have to make a decision, but it's weird. It's like you guys feel vulnerable, you guys feel stressed, and I think honestly, maybe you don't feel that necessarily this card is Justice rather. You don't feel very balanced at all. Maybe you feel like you just kind of, there's some karmic stuff happening to you, and you're just kind of having to go through the motions, and it's this teeter-totter where you're having to deal with karmic situation. So maybe you're having to deal with some karmic situation. You feel like everything's happening to you via karma. Maybe you feel a bit victimized at this time. And the advice here is not to feel like a victim, but to capitalize on the situation to gain a new perspective, to see something from a different perspective. There's something that you have to see from a different perspective before you make your decision. Okay? So that way you can get the Chariot. Your hopes and fears, however, is the Empress. So the Empress is really talking about you wanting to be comfortable, you wanting to, you know, be surrounded by abundance, or begin to manifest what you truly want, and be, you know, manifest, maybe even tap into your motherly instincts, right? Because the Empress, she is the mother. Okay. So yeah, you guys could be dealing with a Gemini or a Libra, as a matter of fact, or a Scorpio. But with your hopes and fears as the Empress, yeah, I feel like you really want to, give birth to new ideas, to give birth to something new, to give birth to an opportunity or make an opportunity, or create an opportunity that really becomes more, that brings you abundance. Okay, this is your love lives. And honestly, I feel like this is all about you, man. I mean, that's how it's supposed to be anyway. But I feel like it's a major thing that's happening. There's some major stuff happening. Some major changes, some major adjustments that's needed to happen. And that's why you feel like Justice is like readjusting your emotions. Your emotions are a little bit imbalanced right now, and you're having to go through this time of patience and waiting to really see what is necessary to gain that balance in your emotions. Get balance in how you are in your life and how you feel about yourself and your circumstance with your relationship. Okay, because the relationship isn't the problem. The problem, there's not really much of a problem, except for the Nine of Swords, right? The underlying energy, this whole situation is what's stressing you out. But you have to give yourself that patience and that compassion, because right now there's an energy shift. There's a huge energy shift. You're not really going to be like, you're not going to be perfect, and you have to be, compassionate to yourself in regards to what you just went through with this death. It's making this head or heart decision, or this death in this relationship, meaning like there's something that you had to release besides in this, there's something that you had to release to gain such a connection, and this is just this weird period where you're having to kind of adjust to it. But you want to go back to feeling comfortable and feeling more stable, and really give birth to, give birth to a new opportunity in life, new opportunities that can bring you abundance in your relationship, in your life, financially, whatever. I feel like you really want to manifest. Okay. Now, for your outcome, you have the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands, you guys are feeling, I feel like you guys will stand a little bit more taller and be ready to defend yourself, defend what you believe is yours, what you work so hard to achieve. But you do have defensive energy coming up. I don't know if I like that card, but the thing here is the Seven of Wands does talk about confidence, in the sense that you know that you can, handle your business. You can make sure that things work out for you and the people that you love. Okay. And standing your ground is also defending yourself and to the right people, you know what I'm saying, and feeling stronger in itself. So I think honestly, you're going to gain your strength back. You're going to feel a lot more determined, and you're going to know what you're standing for. Because right now you don't know what you're standing for. You feel really stressed out. Maybe you feel more stressed out because you know something, you have some sort of idea about something, about someone, or this is about, you know, your truth and what you feel is right, what you feel is necessary in your relationships. So, geez, that's deep. Now for your wisdom of the oracle, you guys have a change in the wind, okay? And this is really talking about that shift when things kind of get a little weird after a certain, you know, like cycle has ended or whatever. Like there's some sort of readjustment period. So you're in the middle of a readjustment period that you've initiated, that you've started. I know this is major arcana, and this is like this big thing where like majors can be kind of out of your control, but the only thing that's out of our control is what we are going through at this time, not how we perceive it. You're perceiving this as a stressful situation and as really devastating, and it's understandable because you're getting pulled out of your comfort zone and placed into a new one. So you feel naked. You feel absolutely naked. And yeah, it's going to take you a minute to really adjust, to really see something, to see the situation that you're in a different perspective, to turn that around on its head. But until you get there, you got to be compassionate to yourself. Practice compassion, okay? You have see things from a different perspective. That's the hangman. You have to see things from a different perspective. You have to give yourself that time and patience, but you have to be aware and you have to be open. Okay? Don't be closed off right now, because right now you don't want to do that, especially when things are kind of, like I said, shifting and you're not really feeling that stable. You're feeling kind of imbalanced right now, and you're having to figure out what justice you need. You need to make some corrections in your life. This is the time to do this. You know, you have to do it, you know, obviously, to make yourself feel as if you can, you know, stand your ground and really feel grounded and stronger in yourself. But until you get there, you have to be open. You have to be open. You have to see what's wrong. You have to take things into account. You have to take notes. You got to do all these things. It requires you to be aware. Okay? So, and once you're aware of what your surroundings are, because that's what the High Priestess is all about. You're hyper aware right now, but you're not hyper aware. You're looking at what you're feeling, which is okay, it's important, but you're not looking at what it's necessary to look at. You have to see what's wrong so you can fix what's wrong. And if there's nothing wrong, then you have to see what's wrong with you. Okay? You have to fix within yourself. Find the facts that's keeping you from being okay. What's keeping you up at night. If there's something that you need to say, it. Because the King of Swords is you. You're not speaking, or there is some communication that's necessary. You're stressed out because of some sort of communication or some sort of knowledge or something that you know. What do you know? And what decision do you need to make so that way you can feel good about yourself? You can feel good about your life and your love life and the people that you're involved with. That is what's going to help you right now. But you also have to give yourself that compassion, because you're not going to immediately know what to do. And obviously with this change in the wind, it's telling you to just go with the flow. Don't make any major changes. Don't make any major moves. Allow yourself to get as much ground, you know, plant your feet in the ground first. Really wait till things settle. Then make your decision. Wait for the different perspective. See things from a different perspective. Get your information. But especially if you don't know something, if you have no clue what's going on at all, and you don't have a kind of clear idea, that's definitely what it's talking about. But if you have some sort of knowledge, you have something that you know is, you know, kind of out of whack, give yourself that time to really sit in that thought, sit in the meditate, and give yourself that time to really think about what it is that you're wanting to do. But you also got to see something from a different perspective. Whatever you may know, you want to see it from a different side. Okay, you don't want to just make a decision for that other person. You don't want to make a decision for the relationship, because you don't know all sides, not completely, not yet. So that's what, at least that's what this reading is telling me. So wait for yourself, allow yourself to really see something from a different perspective, and take this time to really just learn where you are. Okay, and find out, you know, who you are now. Because death is pretty doggone strong, okay? All right, Cancer. I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you guys are interested in donating and, you know, supporting the channel, my Patreon account is below. You can Like I have like if you donate $4 a month, you get, you know, access to my videos early, and you get some other cool stuff that I'm going to be posting in the feed, like daily, you know, like every other day cards, like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You get cards like that for card reading. So if you guys are interested in doing that, that'd be awesome. Thank you so much. If not, don't worry about it. You know, don't worry about it. Okay, everything's cool. But love you guys. Good luck, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Bye, Cancer.